Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we go beyond the headlines to really unpack the enduring ideas that shape our lives. Today, we're not just skimming the surface. We're plunging headfirst into a book that, well, for over 3 decades now, has been a pretty foundational guide for personal and professional growth.
That's Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
A classic.
Exactly. We've pulled together some really rich insights from a recent thorough review of this work.
Yeah.
And our mission today is basically to distill those insights into actionable wisdom for you.
That's right. And our goal isn't just to, list the habits again. Many of you listening probably know them already.
Sure.
Instead, we want to explore the why and the how. Why do these principles still hit home so powerfully today?
Right.
And how do they actually help us become not just productive, but genuinely effective?
Okay.
This review we looked at, it really emphasizes that while the habits might seem simple on the surface, applying them consistently offers a profound, almost like a shortcut, to building a really solid foundation for success that lasts.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our source highlights something pretty remarkable. This book is over 30 years old.
Yes, it's amazing.
And yet, Covey's lessons feel just as relevant today. I mean, in a world that's obsessed with the next big thing, the latest trend, the quick life hacks.
Totally.
That's an extraordinary lifespan for a self-development book. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
What makes these principles sort of immune to time?
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is that Covey wasn't really interested in those temporary fixes or, superficial strategies. He anchored his work in what he called timeless principles. These are like universal laws that just govern human effectiveness.
Okay, timeless principles.
Yeah. And the review makes it really clear that the book is aiming for a deep internal shift. It's about changing how you see the world, how you think.
Not just what you do.
Exactly. Not just giving you a new to-do list.
Yeah.
Take, for example, his idea of the circle of influence versus the circle of concern.
Right, I remember that.
So many people, they pour their energy into things they absolutely cannot control.
Like the news or what other people think?
Precisely. Global events, office politics, you can't change. That's their circle of concern.
Okay.
Covey challenges you. He says, shift that energy inward. Focus on the things you actually can directly influence. Your choices, your responses, your skills.
That's the circle of influence.
That's it. And fostering that internal locus of control. I mean, that fundamental shift from being reactive, feeling like a victim, to taking agency, being proactive, that's a true game changer. It doesn't matter what year it is.
That distinction is incredibly powerful, isn't it? Focusing on what you can control versus getting lost in what you can't. And it's so easy to forget.
It really is.
So, okay, with that foundation of timeless principles set, let's dive into the habits themselves. Starting with the first 3, Covey groups these together, right? Moving from dependence to independence.
Exactly. He calls it achieving personal mastery.
Personal mastery.
Yeah. These first 3 habits are all about building that inner strength, that self-reliance. And the journey, it starts with habit 1. Be proactive.
Be proactive.
Now, this isn't just about, taking initiative, although that's part of it. People often confuse it with just being busy.
Right.
It's deeper. It's about recognizing that between what happens to you, the stimulus, and how you react to your response, there's a space.
A space.
And in that space lies your freedom to choose your response. It's about consciously deciding how you'll react, not just letting external circumstances dictate your mood or actions.
It's about taking ownership.
Complete ownership. It's a powerful declaration of personal responsibility. Understanding you are the architect, the creator of your own life, not just a passenger reacting to things. It really pushes back against that modern tendency to blame everything outside ourselves for how we feel inside.
Okay, that's a strong start. So once you accept that personal responsibility, where do you point that proactive energy? That leads us to habit 2, right? Begin with the end in mind.
Spot on.
This sounds like it's more than just setting goals.
Oh, it absolutely is. Much more. This habit encourages you to really envision your entire life, your career with clarity. What do you truly want?
How so?
Well, Covey uses this quite striking exercise. He asks you to imagine your own funeral.
Wow, okay. Heavy.
It is, but powerful. What would you want people to honestly say about you? What kind of person do you want to have been?
Yeah.
What contributions do you want to have made? What legacy?
So it's about defining your core values first.
Exactly. Your personal mission, your character, defining that before you start climbing any ladders of success.
Making sure the ladder is leaning against the right wall. I think that's his phrase.
That's the one. Because without that clarity of purpose, that end in mind, even your most dedicated efforts can feel, well, hollow. Or worse, lead you somewhere you never actually wanted to be.
That's a profound challenge envisioning your eulogy. Okay, so knowing that ultimate destination, that end, help you figure out what's important now. Which leads us right into habit 3. Put first things first.
Perfect transition.
This feels like where the rubber meets the road, the practical application of the first 2 habits.
Exactly right. If begin with the end in mind is your personal blueprint, your constitution, then put first things first is the day-to-day, moment-to-moment discipline of actually executing on it, living it out.
Okay.
This habit teaches us to really distinguish between what's merely urgent things demanding attention right now and what's truly important things that contribute to our mission, our values, our key goals.
The urgent versus the important, that's key.
It is. Covey's time management matrix, even if he doesn't always draw it out explicitly in discussions, underlies this. Spend less time on the urgent but unimportant stuff. The distractions, the noise.
Right. And focus your energy on the important but not urgent activities. These are the quadrant 2 activities.
Like planning, relationship building.
Preventative activities, exercise, learning, true recreation. These are the things that move your long-term vision forward.
Yeah.
But crucially, they rarely shout for your attention.
It's easy to put off.
So easy, because the urgent stuff is always yelling louder. The challenge here, the real discipline, is saying no to things that might even be good, but aren't the best use of your time according to your end in mind. It's about consistently aligning your daily actions with your deepest values and mission, even when immediate pressures pull you elsewhere. It's truly living your priorities.
Not just listing them.
Precisely.
That makes perfect sense. It's about that discipline, like you said, and having the courage to protect those important, non-urgent things. So, okay, we've built this solid foundation within ourselves, this personal mastery, with habits 1, 2, and 3. Covey then challenges us to move outwards, to transform how we interact with other people. This is where we get into interdependence.
Yes, this shift is absolutely crucial because, let's face it, very few of us achieve anything significant completely alone.
True.
These next habits are essential for success in any kind of collaborative environment. Your workplace, sure, but also your family, your community.
Anywhere you interact with others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the first of these relationship-focused habits is habit 4. Think win-win.
Win-win. That sounds optimistic.
It is, but it's also deeply practical. It goes beyond just compromise, where maybe both sides feel like they lost something.
Right, where you meet in the middle, but nobody's thrilled.
Yeah. Win-win is about genuinely seeking solutions where everyone benefits, where there's a shared victory. It requires a different mindset.
What kind of mindset?
An abundance mentality, believing there's plenty of success, plenty of good stuff to go around for everyone.
Instead of a scarcity mindset.
Where you think if someone else wins, you must lose. That zero-sum game. Win-win requires courage to state your own needs clearly, but also consideration to understand and respect the other person's needs.
Okay, that sounds ideal, but let's be real. In a tough negotiation, or maybe even a heated discussion with family, how do you actually get to win-win? Isn't the instinct sometimes to just dig in or give in? It feels counterintuitive sometimes.
That's a really great question, and it points to the subtlety here. Covey isn't suggesting you be naive or a doormat.
Okay.
He's advocating for a fundamental shift in approach. It means you actively look for alternatives that satisfy both parties' core needs.
Yeah.
Sometimes this even means creating a third alternative, a solution nobody thought of initially.
A creative solution.
Exactly. It takes trust, definitely. Open communication, a willingness to be creative and really explore possibilities together. But the long-term payoff, stronger relationships, more sustainable solutions, better outcomes, is huge. It's way more effective than constantly fighting for the bigger piece of the pie.
Okay. So it's about changing the game, not just playing the old one better.
You got it.
Yeah.
And to really understand what the other party needs to get to that win-win, well, that requires the next habit.
Which is probably one of his most famous phrases. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit 5.
Yes.
This one always struck me as incredibly important, but also really, really hard to actually do consistently.
It's arguably one of the most powerful habits, and yes, probably one of the most difficult to master. I mean, think about most conversations or arguments.
People are just waiting for their turn to talk, or formulating their rebuttal while the other person is still speaking.
Exactly. We listen with the intent to reply, not with the intent to understand. This habit flips that completely. It emphasizes empathetic listening.
Empathetic listening.
Yeah.
What does that mean in practice?
It's not just hearing the words. It's trying to truly see the situation from the other person's point of view, to understand their feelings, their needs, their frame of reference as they see it.
Putting yourself in their shoes.
Deeply. Listening to genuinely understand without judging or jumping in with your own story or advice immediately. Only after you demonstrate that understanding, when the other person truly feels heard and respected.
Then they're more open to hearing you.
Precisely. Then, and only then, can you effectively communicate your own viewpoint and work towards that win-win. It's the absolute cornerstone of building trust and resolving conflict effectively. It disarms people.
Any practical tips for doing that, for showing you understand?
One really effective technique is, before you respond with your own ideas, try to paraphrase what you heard the other person say in your own words.
Yeah.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you feel frustrated because...
Checking for understanding.
Yeah. And check their feeling too, is that right?
Yeah.
Shows you were actually listening, not just waiting to talk. It's transformative.
That's a fantastic, really tangible tip. Okay, so we've thought win-win, we've sought to understand. What's next in building these strong relationships?
That brings us to habit 6, synergize.
Synergize. This sounds like teamwork on steroids.
You could put it that way. It's really the ultimate outcome of applying the previous habits effectively, especially win-win and seek first to understand.
Okay.
Synergy is about valuing differences, not just tolerating them, but genuinely valuing them and leveraging those differences to create something totally new, something better than what any one person could have come up with alone.
So the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
That's the classic definition, exactly. It's not just compromise, where 1 + 1 could equal 1.5. It's not even just cooperation, where maybe 1 + 1 = 2. It's creative cooperation, where 1 + 1 could equal 3 or 10 or 100.
How does that happen?
It happens when diverse perspectives, different strengths, unique insights combine. It means you openly engage with viewpoints that differ from yours. You don't shy away from them. You have the security from habits 1, 2, and 3, and the communication skills from 4 and 5 to explore those differences respectfully.
And you believe that together you can find a better way.
Yes. You actively seek that third alternative we mentioned earlier, the synergistic solution that emerges from mutual respect and creative interaction.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating uniqueness and realizing that unity doesn't mean uniformity.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we've covered taking charge of ourselves, envisioning our future, prioritizing, thinking win-win, listening empathetically, and synergizing. That's 6 habits. What's left? It feels like we've built a pretty effective system. How do we keep it all going? Because this sounds like a continuous effort.
You're absolutely right. It's not a one-time fix. And that brings us to the crucial 7th habit, the one that really integrates and enables all the others. Sharpen the saw.
Sharpen the saw, habit 7.
This habit is all about continuous improvement, self-renewal, preventing burnout. It's about consistently investing in yourself across 4 key dimensions of life.
4 dimension, yeah.
Physical, taking care of your body through exercise, nutrition, rest. Mental, keeping your mind sharp through reading, learning, planning, writing. Emotional, social, building meaningful relationships. Practicing empathy, contributing to others, maintaining that emotional bank account. And spiritual, connecting with your core values, your purpose, maybe through meditation, prayer, art, or spending time in nature, whatever renews your spirit.
So it's about recharging your batteries across the board.
Exactly. It's about making time for self-care and growth regularly. Covey uses the analogy of a woodcutter who's too busy sawing to stop and sharpen the saw. Eventually, they become incredibly inefficient, right?
Right, because the saw gets dull.
Precisely. Habit 7 is about taking the time to sharpen your own saw. It's a habit that makes consistently living the other 6 habits possible and sustainable over the long haul. It's your personal PPC balance. Production versus production capability. You need to maintain your capability.
Without it, everything else eventually grinds to a halt or becomes much less effective.
You got it. It ensures you have the energy, the clarity, the resilience, the capacity to keep going and keep growing.
That really ties it all together. It's the habit that enables all the others. Okay, so looking back at the review we consulted, it gave The 7 Habits a top rating, 5 out of 5. Call it a must-read for building that strong foundation for success.
Yeah, high praise and deservedly so.
So pulling it all together for you listening, what's the biggest takeaway from this deep dive into these principles, especially considering how long they've been around and how relevant they still feel?
I think the review summarized it beautifully. True success, real effectiveness, it's not just about, climbing the ladder or achieving things in isolation.
Right.
It's profoundly about your character. It's about the quality of your relationships built on trust and mutual respect. And it's about your commitment to continuous growth and renewal sharpening that saw. It really underscores that genuine impact, lasting impact, involves way more than just ticking off tasks or hitting metrics.
Yeah.
It's about who you are fundamentally.
Your integrity, your values.
Yes. And how you interact with others with empathy, seeking mutual benefit. And that unwavering commitment to keep learning, keep adapting, keep renewing yourself. It's a holistic view.
Integrated.
Very integrated. And that approach ultimately just delivers far more profound and sustainable results than any quick fix technique ever could.
What a journey through these principles. It really is clear why The 7 Habits is such a landmark book and why it keeps influencing people decade after decade. It's clearly not just a book you read once. It feels more like a framework to live by, something to continually revisit.
Indeed. That core message that our habits shape our effectiveness and our effectiveness ultimately shapes our success. It offers such a compelling, practical framework for anyone, really, who's looking to make a meaningful, lasting impact, not just in their work, but in their whole life.
It's a powerful reminder that real change starts inside, with those consistent, intentional actions, those habits.
And that focusing on our character, on who we are becoming, is probably the surest path we have to enduring achievement and fulfillment.
So, as you reflect on all this, here's something to consider. Which one of these 7 habits feels maybe the dullest in your own life right now? Which saw needs the most sharpening?
Good question to ponder.
And maybe more importantly, what's one immediate small action you could take, perhaps even today, to start honing that particular habit? Just one small thing to begin creating that ripple effect towards greater effectiveness in your life.